Good evening, everyone. I'll call to order the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, November 11th, 2021, 6 p.m. I'd like to ask Charles Cochran from Eastridge Church of Christ if he'll come forward, provide us with the invocation, and lead us in our pledge. If everyone will stand.
Our Father and our God in heaven, we are thankful in this time of year, this season of the year of Thanksgiving, for all that you have done for us. Father, we're grateful that we live in this wonderful city of Eastridge and the progress that is being made. We pray, Father, for Mayor Williams and all of those who sit on this council. Father, give them the wisdom to make the best decisions for our city. Thank you, Father, for the way that you continue to bless our nation. Father, we realize that our nation was founded upon your word and righteous principles. We pray, Heavenly Father, that we may never forsake those principles of righteousness, the things that will cause us to be blessed by you and will cause our nation to be a light to the world around us. Father, we pray that you will be with us throughout the rest of this evening. Keep us, Father, close to you and doing your will and bringing glory and honor to your name. We pray through Christ. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Before we do the roll call, I'd like to, as everyone's aware, today is a very special day. It's a Veterans Day. This day is set aside to honor our military veterans. A gracious thank you is well deserved to all the brave individuals that have served the United States Armed Forces. We thank them for what they have done for our country. Those who live in freedom will always be grateful for those who help preserve it. So at this point, I'd like to recognize any veteran in the audience. If there's one, please stand. I'd like to recognize you. Thank you very much for your service. We appreciate you. So we'll move to roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Mayor Williams.
Here.
Vice Mayor Chauncey.
Here.
Councilmember Cagle.
Here.
Councilmember Helton.
Here.
Councilmember Witt.
Here.
City Manager Dorsey.
Here.
City Attorney Litchford.
Here. We'll move to item B. This is the first meeting of the month, which we recognize our Employee Milestone Awards for October. These are our employees that have reached a service milestone for the longevity and their dedicated service for our city. As I often mention, it is our employees that make our city run as efficient and as great as it does. And for the month of October, we have 6 Milestone Awards. We have 2 that are 15 years, Tommy Seifels and James Burkhart. We have 2 with 10 years of service, Corey Cleek and Eric Massengale. And we have 2 with 5 years of service, Keena Barnes and Charlie Ritchie. And we appreciate that, appreciate them and their service, and we will be getting with them this coming week to provide them with their service pin, their certificate, and most appreciated probably is the money, the check that they'll receive for the service award. So again, we appreciate them. Wanted to recognize them as we do each month for the milestones. The next we have is the donation to the Needy Child Fund from the Police Department. Chief Allen.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, Council, as you know by now, the last 3 years we have been creating an opportunity for officers to donate money in order to grow a beard, which otherwise wouldn't be. And then we pick a charity. Normally in November, we donate to the Needy Child Fund. So we have a few checks here. Anybody wants to come and get it? If memory serves, this is the highest total we've ever had, $650.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move to item 4. Assume everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes of the October 28, 2021 council meeting. I'll entertain a motion for those minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
A motion to approve by Vice Mayor Chauncey and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion or corrections? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton,
Abstain, I was absent.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. We'll move to item 5, communications from citizens. This is an opportunity for any citizen or business owner to come forward and address the council with any concern, question, or accolade. And they will have 5 minutes, and we have one that signed in. We have Roy Cowan. If you will provide your name and your address, sir.
Yes, sir. My name is Roy A. Cowan. I live at 6016 Graston Avenue, Eastridge, Tennessee. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, especially Mr. Cagle there, good friend, city manager, city attorney, and the chief of police, which has helped me, Mr. Allen. I'm here tonight to thank each and every one of you for donating the car 2009 Chevrolet Impala to the Provost Division of the Shriners. Due to the restrictions of the pandemic, Shriner International paused their efforts to complete the car for some time, and now it is complete. And we are looking forward to presenting this car in the 2021 Eastridge Parade. I'm also here tonight to honor the city of Eastridge as an honorary member for the donation of the patrol car to the Shrines. So, Mr. Mayor, if I may approach.
Yes. Would you like me to come down, or do you want to approach? Either way. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We really appreciate what y'all done.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate the Shriners. We appreciate all that you do for the community, the families, the children. It is so many children are just so excited to see the parade and see y'all in the parade. So thank you. It was our pleasure to make the donation. Council, is there anything you would like to add?
I'd like to say thank you to the Shriners.
Yes.
You do a lot of great things for the community, especially all the children, and I have some really good friends that are Shriners. Perry Perkins.
Very well.
Thank you, Roy.
You're welcome. Like I say, thank you, Mr. Dorsey, city attorney, doing all the paperwork, and everybody getting it approved, so we really appreciate it. Thank you.
If I'm not-
One thing.
Go right ahead.
I'd just like to thank the Shrine for all y'all do for the kids. And I've got one question that I've been asked, I don't know how many times. When are y'all bringing the circus back?
You really want me to answer that?
Yes, sir. So I'll have an answer for when someone asks me.
Probably, we will not.
Okay.
The only reason why, because they went up an extra $15,000. And time we pay them and what we do with the city, it's just not feasible right now, so they said maybe in a couple of years, but I don't look for it for the next 2 or 3 years. But we are doing a rodeo. We'll be doing 2 of them, and the first one's going to be at the I think 29th and 30th. It'll be the last weekend in April in Cleveland, so.
What I needed to know, thank you.
Yes, sir.
The thing I was going to mention is I believe you're going to mention the car is outside.
Yes,
People
sir.
like to see it, and you're even willing to light it up for people to.
I will. I'll stay here until it's over with, so everybody can walk out and look at it. You can look it from the window, or you can look from Sally Port over there, and so the ladies, nobody has to get wet.
Thank you again, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone else that didn't get their name on the list that would like to come and, during citizen communication? I see no one else, so we will move into communication from council members. Start on this side. Councilmember Witt?
Mayor Williams asked me to read a card that we got from the Eastridge Needy Child Fund, and they're here tonight, so thank you for the card. It says, "A great big thanks to all of you. You are so very nice." So that was a card that they sent the council, and I did present it to Brian, and he allowed me to read it. So thank y'all very much for all y'all do for Eastridge and all of our kids here in Eastridge and the schools. Y'all do a lot of extra things that people do not know about, so thank you.
Councilmember Hilton?
I'd just like to concur with Councilwoman Witt. Y'all do wonderful things, and you make kids' Christmas bright, and we can't thank you enough.
Vice Mayor Chauncey?
Yes, Mayor, I just want to give everybody an update on the fencing for the dog park. Just like all the building materials and commodities you see right now, it's pretty scarce. And black vinyl chain just happens to be one of those items that's kind of hard to come by right now, but probably looking at anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks before installation date for the fencing. And other than that, I'm meeting with someone next week about the park benches, AES Manufacturing, about getting those constructed. And so things are kind of moving along on my end, but that's all I have for an update.
Thanks, sir. Councilmember Cagle?
I don't really have anything other than just to ditto what you said about the veterans, for the veterans, because back in 1966 was my time to go. That was the Vietnam thing, and I was lucky. I say luckily, I would have went, but I wasn't called because of my classification. Y'all know we were on the draft thing then, and but I've got many friends that come back missing legs, arms, the PTS, whatever the initials are. And so there's a lot of thanks that needs to go out to all of them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I concur with the Eastridge Needy Child Fund. Thank you for all that you do for our community and continue to do, and for the families and the children. It is greatly appreciated. So, as usual, I have several things that I usually talk about, but I'm going to hand one of them off if he would like to talk about Phil the Cruiser. Chief Allen, would you like to come forward and talk about that event upcoming?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor, Council. Police Department, along with the Citizens Police Academy alumni, doing another Phil the Cruiser event. This is for the Eastridge Food Pantry. It'll be this Saturday from 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock, and it will be at Honda Power Sports. And so we welcome any kind of food, non-perishable food item to be donated. And this year, we're not going to use a car, we're using a pickup truck. So we're going to need a lot of stuff to fill that.
Well, we need to challenge everybody to break the record, because we had Phil a Cruiser last time, and we had, 5 or 6 cruisers filled?
Yes, sir.
So let's break that record this year.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. The next thing is I wanted to mention is a tiny little event that we've revived called our Eastridge Christmas Parade that we're very excited to have come back, and that's going to be November the 20th at 6:30 for our parade. We'll be lining up at 4 on Germantown Road. Chris, is there anything you'd like to? You're good. Okay. So, yeah, we're very excited to have that back. So, is the deadline? The deadline's already passed for it. Deadline's already passed. Here we had quite a few signed up. So,
Near 65, 70, something like
yeah, so I think it's almost back to pre-pandemic limit or amount. So that's awesome. Well, I should have went ahead and put this in date order. So I hate to ask Chief Allen to come back up. Would you like to talk about your blood drive, or would you like for me to go ahead and talk about the blood drive that's coming up? This is November the 30th from 12:30 to 6. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. That's it. The Blood Assurance will be bringing out one of their Bloodmobile buses for donations, obviously for blood. It'll be November 30th, and I believe it's 12 to 6.
Is it 12 to 6? Is it 12:30 to 6:30?
Mayor, right?
I put down 12:30 to 6:30. It may be
It may be.
It may be. We'll clarify that and make that announcement on social media.
Don't wait until 6 o'clock. Just come before that.
Exactly. Just, yeah. Be there at 12 and hang out.
You can
It's
make
good.
an appointment with blood assurance, but it's not required.
Correct. And they're giving away shirts, correct?
I believe that's correct.
Yes.
sir.
Awesome. Thank you, and I believe I don't have anything else.
I'll be here.
For any, I'm trying to help you with your steps today. I wanted to get, I mentioned the updates about the Pioneer Frontier. Do you have that on your list?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I really don't have anything to say other than have you seen the progress? If not, check the progress out. It's coming along very well. And I'm very excited and see that we're posting a lot of updates from the city website. So that's awesome. It's coming together good. I think, is the Frontier coming faster than the splash pad? Are we having a little, okay. It's not progressing quite as fast, but that's,
Labor issues, and if you want to talk about it for a minute, Adam, I don't know if you have anything you'd like to
yeah,
add.
please, sir.
Yeah, so the splash pad is about 95% done. They have to connect some plumbing, and we did install the meter for the electrical this week. The playground is coming along pretty quickly. It should come even faster in the next probably 7 to 10 days. And then after that, they're probably going to pour concrete and for the walkways, and then we'll have it done. Hopefully by second or third week of December.
And a few training sessions and things like that.
A few training sessions on the splash pad for the employees.
Okay. Well, thank you. I didn't, I was wanting to ask, but I wasn't going to put you on the spot about a date, but you
I will.
you gave that, you will.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll be done.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. The other thing is I always like talking about our great city library. So there's several events that's coming up that I wanted to talk about. Some library events. November the 12th, which is tomorrow, they've got a teen lock-in from 6:30 to 10. You can join them for a teen movie and game night. Pizzas and drinks will be served. That's a free program, but permission slips are required to attend. And the library staff will be on site the entire time. Movie will be a PG or a PG-13. Then on Saturday the 11th at 10:30 is Pancakes with Santa. So join them for pancakes and hot chocolate bar. Bring your camera for a photo with Santa, and it's a free program as well. Registration is required as well for that to attend. You can contact them at 423-867-7323 or dconway@eastridgetn.gov. And then the 30th, there's 3 times, because I usually try to get this in chronological order. The indoor story time, there's 3 events: Tuesday, November the 30th, December the 7th, and December the 14th. Those are from 10:30 to 11 for the children indoor story time. I think that's all that I have at this point. So I'll hand it off to City Manager Dorsey.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a couple things. First, I'm going to start with to let everybody know we finally have gotten some garbage and recycling cans in. We have been trying for months and months and months to get some. They were finally delivered this week, so they're putting together a distribution plan for the list that we have, and we should be getting those out shortly. Leaf pickup, I touched on this at the last meeting. We're planning on starting right after Thanksgiving with the leaf pickup. We're going to start west to east, and this year we're going to try to make sure we can keep up on the city website with updates on where we are, so if the citizens are curious where the trucks are, what the progress is, we're going to try to have live updates, so to speak, to keep the citizens apprised of that. We have a change in our recycling that I want to make the council and the citizens aware of. We're working through right now. West Rock Recycling, which is where we take all of our recycling materials, has updated their list of the items that they are accepting and not accepting at this point. The change that's there for Eastridge is they no longer accept glass. So we're going to have to start putting glass back into the regular waste stream. In addition to that, it's plastics that are numbers 3 through 7, and don't ask me what those exactly are, but the main ones we're used to seeing are, the 1s and the 2s, which are like the milk jugs and the Coke bottles and things of that nature. So we have made up copies of a flyer that we're putting on everyone's recycling can over the next week or 2, just so they're aware of it. West Rock knows it might be, a couple weeks till we're able to get all those things out of the recycling stream, but we are trying to educate the public starting this week, and if you have any questions on that, just let me know.
Will we have that also posted on somewhere on our website?
It should be on the website, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I don't even know if the fire chief knows this one or not, but we got a letter today from Tennessee American Water that we've been approved for a $1,000 firefighting support grant for you from Daphne Kirksey. So we thank Tennessee American for that and for supporting our fire department.
Awesome.
That is all I have.
Thanks, sir. Quick question back to you said recycle cans we got in?
Yes.
So how did the number we got in, how did it compare to the number on the list, or do we know? Are we
I
able
asked
to
Robert
fulfill
about
everyone
that.
that's wanting one, or are we still short?
I'm told that we will have a few in surplus, so
Okay.
that's good. We had 75 recycling and 75 garbage cans come in. And it was a struggle just to get those in.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll move to item 8, which says old business, and we have none, so then we'll go ahead and we'll move straight into new business. Before we start with the item A, public hearing, I would like to make a note that I would like to add another agenda item at the bottom of new business regarding a temporary beer permit. So I'm going to go ahead and mention that now before we get to the end of the agenda. So I'd like to add item O would be the temporary beer permit, and we move the discussion of the tentative agenda down to P. Thank you. All right. So we'll move into item A, public hearing for ordinance number 1152.
This is going to be first reading for ordinance 1152. We're going to start by reading the caption of the ordinance, and then the mayor will open up the public hearing with respect to this rezoning. This is the rezoning with respect to 1410 North Mac Smith Road, ordinance 1152, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, to amend the zoning regulations and the zoning map of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, so as to rezone the property located at 1014 North Mac Smith Road, tax map number 169L-L-002, from C1 Commercial District to R3 Residential Apartment District.
Thank you, sir. I will open up this public hearing for ordinance number 1152. I would ask, we'll take anyone that wants to come forward, citizens or business owner, that is in favor or not in favor of this, but I would like to offer the applicant that is wanting the rezoning, if they'd like to come forward and present their discussion, their presentation.
I've been informed I may have said 1014. I'm going to say 1410 North Mac Smith Road.
Okay.
Mayor, are we going to see if there's any citizens that wanted to come down to?
They'll have an opportunity.
Oh,
I was going
after
to let them go ahead and present, and then citizens can come forward, and any citizens ought to come forward after that, and then if they have questions. Okay, no problem. Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council, and others who are present. My name is Matt Brownfield. I represent the Lodge of Chattanooga, Inc., and I'm also here in place of John Anderson, who is having some serious health problems, but he asked me to pass on his regrets for not being able to be here tonight. My client, the Lodge of Chattanooga, and by the way, I would ask that all of you keep John in your prayers. I believe probably all of you know him or know of him. Those prayers are needed. My client, the Lodge of Chattanooga, is seeking rezoning from commercial to residential. They know more about what their plan is than I do. I'm an emergency pinch hitter. So at this point, I would just like to step back and let them make their presentation and answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sid Patadar. I'm actually the owner of Budgetel Chattanooga. This is my husband, Harry Patel, and we have our Director of Operations, Amish Patel, here today. I'm going to let him do the presentation, but I think the key thing here is just knowing what our vision is, the tremendous changes we would like to make compared to, what you see as it is currently.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for your time. So we are going to go over some slideshows, some pictures, some information. What we're going to show you first is what we're going to turn this project into, and then end of the slideshow will be more what it is currently, so you have a full vision. The first 7 or 8 slideshows is, obviously the name's going to change. Right now it's Budgetel. The name says it all, budget, so lower end guest. So that brings in lower end rates. We're changing it to Vivo Living. The company we're teaming up with, they've done over 20 hotels already and converted them to studio luxury apartments. They've done 9 to 10 states. They're doing 4 more new states next year. Let me just move on. And then you've got the booklets in front of you. It's just showing you some of the different rates and what Chattanooga needs in mid to lower income people, and the rates we'll go over for the apartments we're trying to charge and what we're going to be giving for the money. Going on these are just... Okay, so this is the rendering drawing our architect has designed. So we're trying to make the look different from what it is right now. Like I explained later, we'll see what it is currently. So the whole building will be different colors, more brighter, lots of grays and some pop colors. And the roofing right now is all metal. It's blue and it's green, so we want to try to bring it all into one color because you can see all 4 buildings off the interstate, so we want to improve that. This is the site plan of currently what we have. And if you look at that, I don't know, I've got a bigger drawing if you'd like to see it, but we went on the site and got the parking ratios. With 237 apartments, we need 1.25 parking, so that's 296 required. We got 301 put on the site. So we've got that, and then we've got 4.46 acres. The pool obviously will stay, but we're going to do a whole barbecue outdoor facility for people to sit out there. This is the building A, which is currently, the office building. That's currently right now just got a lobby and a storage area. So right with this drawing, we're going to totally redo it. As you see on the left, we want to do a recreation area with pool tables, vending areas, a self-coffee station. Behind it, a whole fitness gym, which that one is almost 40 feet by 30 feet. And then to the right of that will be the actual leasing desk, a nice seating area lobby, a business center, and then the managers and the sales offices. So that will be turned into what you see, and then we'll show you what it is right now. So this diagram has 60 hotel rooms right now. What we have done to get bigger square footage is, this is building 1, we have converted 60 rentable rooms into 30 apartments. So that gets you 512 square foot. As you enter, you have a living area. These are pull-out couches. Then you have a full kitchen aisle with the stove, the sink top, and then beside that, we've put a no, actually, it's on this side, we moved it. Got the full-size fridge, microwave. All the bathrooms will be all ceramic tile with double vanities. And then the right side of that, we've added in washer dryer, so they don't have to go to the coin laundry that we have right now. And then a full closet space and the beds and the tables. Amish, if you go to the next one, I'll show you in 3D a top view of how it's laid out. So you can see the space where you got your bedroom separate from the living space. And keep this in mind, we've already done 16 of these projects in several states and cities. And it's working great. 19. That's just another view from the east side of it, where you come in with the blinds and the drapes, and then you can see the bathrooms. As you can see, it's more space. We are going to do a mixture of tubs and showers, because some people prefer showers, some people prefer tubs. And it will have the full stove tops and with the ovens. Okay, so we have 129 apartments with balconies. So we have this current room this size, and we have, that's 690 square feet with the balcony. So that's the same similar living area with a separate TV, full-blown kitchen, with the bathroom in the center, whole wardrobe system on the back, and then the bed, which will be another door separated. And then the balcony right now has just a regular door. We want to put sliding doors, make it feel more homely. Page 21 will show you the overlook of it, so you can see how it will look. Now, what we do, these are 12-month leases that they have to sign. They have a full background check before they can rent. And whatever the rent is, they have to make 3 times more before they can rent. And this company we use, right now, currently, they've got almost 20,000 doors that they do for different owners. And they're based out of Atlanta. That's the leasing people management company we will use. We will not manage it. 22 is another view of the same layout. And they do have option to bring their own furniture. This is something we have set up, and this will be $4,000 if they want us to provide the furniture. We have 78 units that are 250 square foot. That's building 3. So as you see, each building has different sizes, different amenities. So this one will be a little bit less. You can do 2 beds or 1. You see the stove right behind the bathroom. We've got the sink right there, and we've added the washer and dryer and the large fridge that's on the TV side of the wall. All rooms will have 50-inch TVs and 8.2 cubic fridges, which we will provide them. They can provide just the furniture. For all the electronics and the stoves and the cabinets, we provide all that. And all the rooms will be re-laminated. We use 30 cm hardwood flooring. The layout for that room, as you can see the washer dryer, the tile work, the cabinetry, which we actually get done in Houston, Texas. So we try to use everything here in the U.S. Instead of shipping from out of country. view of it as you enter. So that's currently the lobby the way it is right now. So if you can just vision back what we've shown you, that's the simple desk. This is a break area. This is the standard room that I'd shown you that was 256 square foot. This is what it looks like now. Simple bed, 2 beds. Lamps on the wall, which we're getting away from all that. It's all going to be LED. It's all going in the wall or on the ceiling. No drapes, all blind system. As you see, the small fridge that's on this side of the door and the microwave just propped up on top. The TV just sitting on the condenser, not even mounted on the wall. This is the front of the lobby. We will take down the whole canopy. We want no canopy. And that building will be actually the new office and the amenities I had shown you, what will be inside of that. That's another picture of the lobby, very plain and dull. Another picture of just another standard room. That's one of the kitchens in the largest suites. As you see, it's just a simple cabinet, full mica top, and a glass stove. That's what we currently have. This will be all granite and quartz and ovens. This is the side of the suite, just a regular couch, a desk, and a chair. That's the front of the lobby right now. That's the sizes of the bathrooms. They're 5 by 6 right now. So with us blowing out the walls, obviously you've seen some with double vanities and that they're going to be a lot more updated than what it is right now. None of these have washer dryers in none of the units. We have a large coin laundry in the lobby itself, but we're doing away with that totally, and each room will have its own washer dryer. As you can see, the sprinkler, as we were before, as most of you may know, it was a Superior Creek, and then we had turned it into a Budgetel, and we had to add the fire sprinkler. And that's how it is, but everything now will be all covered in the ceilings or in the walls, so it will not be seen like that. That's the orange pipe. Picture of the lobby. Yep. Another thing, I was listening today with some of these events you guys have. Afraid so we don't have a picture, but a lot of you may have seen our sign off the interstate. It's 100 foot high, and it says Budgetel Extended Stay, and below it we installed a LED sign, which was close to $70,000 6 years ago. So after hearing your events today, I think if we can work together where we can do some of the city advertising, that way more people can see, because we're right off the exit. We're the first, Eastridge is the first exit, and you could put some of your own advertising on there. Welcome to Eastridge, something like that. That was just something I was listening to that may help you guys as well, so people will know what's really going on in the city. And with everything new around us, we feel like we're outdated. And our rates right now are $35 a day. We're the lowest rate in the area, and our weekly rate's $250. Everyone else around us, we won't really compare to Fairfield. That's across us. They're over $100 a night, and they don't give weekly. And the Super 8, I think, is the next thing, but he's $60 to $65 a night. So we feel if some of these guests may move there, it helps this. We didn't attach the star report, so we get a star report of every property in the area every month. Eastridge is running about 65% yearly. We've got 14 hotels there total. So when you average that, we're averaging 50% occupancy, so we're at 132 rooms average a night. So with that, if we lose that, I think the other hotels will gain some of that. And some of them won't afford it, so they'll probably move to another city or go to the Chattanooga area where there's more lower-end hotels. Because there's nothing else lower-end in Eastridge but this Budgetel. Guys have any questions? Mr. Emerson, do you have?
So, yeah. So appreciate you doing the presentation. So I'm going to give the opportunity now for any of the citizens that would like to come forward.
Okay.
If they have any, to speak in favor or against this rezoning, now is the opportunity for you to come forward. You can provide your name and address, please.
My name's Earl Wilson. I live at 2019 Pioneer Ridge Trail, Eastridge, Tennessee. Several citizens have reached out to me, and they share a lot of the concerns I do. I would like to propose to the council tonight that you take this back, send this back to the Planning Commission, and they see the same type of plans that was presented here tonight with more in-depth details to the construction, working more diligent with codes. I have some concerns about the size of the rooms, meeting code standards for requirements as far as occupancy of 2 adults in one sleeping area. If you add another, the square footage and things change. I understand there's one of these in Rome, Georgia. I think it would be a wise idea of our codes, city manager, go down and visit and see. This facilities is going. To me, a lot of you just didn't get the information very quickly, and this was just kind of slipped in here. I know Planning Commission did not see the same presentation was seen tonight, correct? I don't think that's fair to our city and to the various groups that we have. Planning, we work through, a routine process of dotting I's, crossing T's to make sure that we're in compliance with all standards. One of my concerns that I have for the developer is how can you guarantee us down the road, if you don't rent these apartments, that you're not going to turn them into Section 8 housing? We don't need any more Section 8 housing in our city in Eastridge. We're the most densely populated city in the state with 23,000 people and 8.5 square miles. I understand the trends or people don't want to own, they want to rent. That's generational factors that we have to accept and understand. But there's just a lot of concerns that citizens have. What I'd like to see happen is this council tonight pass this till the meeting on January the 20th to give Planning Commission a chance to review this and the presentation be made to them again with all I's dotted and all T's crossed twice. Historically, in dealing with this facility, we haven't had a lot of cooperation and compliance with them and when issues and things arise. I'd like to be assured as a citizen that changes. We need communication with them. We need them to work with our codes department. I know our chief, the fire department went down recently and wanted to do an inspection, was turned away. To me, there should be a state law against someone turning the fire chief or a fire marshal away from an inspection of a facility that's housing people, where if it caught on fire, people could, we have a very severe tragedy on our hands. Also, there was a lady on the 4th floor that they had to assist her up because the elevators didn't work. That's a violation of ADA guidelines. We need to make sure that this facility is in compliance with all state and local codes. And right now, I don't think we're seeing that, because when we agreed to let Budgetel open back up, we put covenants into our codes about you couldn't bring in hot plates, you couldn't bring in furniture, various things like that. We as a city haven't been able to go in and inspect that, one, because we're just short manpower, but two, I can probably wager you that if we all left here right now, went to Budgetel and inspected 10 rooms, we're going to find 5 in violation of some of those standards. And it's, if you're going to run a business, then make sure the people that are participating or living at your facility are obeying, the codes that are set forth that you have to follow. And, but like I said, I'd just like to see it move, to give it a chance to go through the proper channels, them see the full renderings, have a chance for codes and MyCal and them to go through the blueprints and make sure everything is up to today's standards, because was it 3 years ago we changed to 2018 guidelines? So Hamilton County and Chattanooga is still working off 2012. We're 6 years ahead of them to protect people that come into our city, because we know Camp Jordan's going to bring people in just because of our location. We know we're going to have a lot of people visiting in this city. We've got the Red Wolves, which is going to increase the amount of traffic coming in. And I'd also like to ask that you present 2 separate plans. One that has retail space somewhere on the ground floor of this, because that's too valuable property for the Border Region Act just to not capitalize on that money that we can get back over the next 20 years. And I think it's just a poor business move if we don't encourage retail space in that section down there, because traffic's going to increase of people walking and going down through there. So right now today, if I was one of you guys voting, I'd vote no against this, because I just don't have enough information, and I don't have the guarantee or the surety or the confidence that they're going to stick to their word at this point in time. So with that being said, that's just where I feel, and I know a lot of citizens do. If we could, I think the second week in January, we need to do like we did with Mr. Desai a couple of years ago, where we had an event at the community center where citizens could come in and ask these individuals questions, see the prints, things like that. That changed a lot of citizens' attitude about what Mr. Desai was trying to do down on Frawley Road when he was wanting to put in that subdivision. I think our citizens deserve that right. I mean, we're the ones that foots the biggest part of the bills and things for this city. And, we're going to live here. There's a lot of us that have lived and left and come back. I've been here off and on since 1971. I don't plan to go anywhere for a while, but I just think that we owe it to our citizens to do due diligence. And if we're going to do this, do it right the first time, or don't do it at all. Just scratch it and go from there. So that's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else like to come forward?
Mayor and Council, I'll be brief. I am here on behalf of LH Mack Smith Road LLC and One Stadium Way, which is Sterling Holdings. My name's Kenny Custer. Obviously, the ownership group owns multiple properties around this, and I'm going to take just a few minutes of your time not to talk about opinions or what I think or what I feel, but just be honest and state the facts. All right. So the fact of the matter is, you have a couple options. One, you keep a transient occupancy, you leave it just like it is. It rocks along and nothing changes. Two, you consider the option that's on the table. Doesn't mean you have to vote on it tonight. There's always an option to table. I do agree with Mr. Wilson with what he had to say about, taking this back, having some consideration. He did talk about Mr. Desai's property, but also we did this with Sweet Bay. When we had the Sweet Bay issue come up, that took a considerable amount of time. There was a lot of effort that went into that from the staff level to city management and even to the ownership group. And we were able to ease a lot of tension because of the agreements that we were able to come up with. And I think that's kind of what the ownership group from my side is looking for, and obviously with Mr. Patel too. They're wanting to provide a better product, and everybody's mind is stuck on what it is today as the Budgetel, not what it can be. And oftentimes we all get stuck in that of what we see today, not what it can be tomorrow. And I really feel that if we take this back, since everybody was just provided the information, I don't know if you got it today or yesterday or whatever the case may be, the presentation's good. It's a viable option. If you looked at the amount of detail within those drawings, that's a significant amount of expense that's going to go into that. You're talking about wall expansion, room expansion, building new walls. You're putting the sprinkler system. It's actually going to be hidden, not going to be ran on the surface. I mean, a lot of changes, and that area down there obviously is being developed as we speak. A lot of things are going into that. So from our side, we would love to see you guys really consider, taking this back, really digesting it, working with this development group to see what this can be, because it's about what it's going to be tomorrow, not what it is today. And I think that we all agree that we want to see things move forward in a positive direction and definitely not go backwards. So obviously I'm not going to say I recommend you pass this tonight, but I do think that there is an opportunity. The city has a great opportunity, especially with rezoning. You can't control the operations of it, but you can control a lot when it comes to rezoning of how things look, landscaping, design, things like that. And that's something that the Planning Commission, I'm sure their attorney will agree with me that operations, not necessarily as much. You can't necessarily say that you can't do Section 8 housing, but you can work on what the facade's going to look like, what the rooms are going to look like, and I think they've put out a product that is definitely worth exploring, because if it gets shot down tonight, you're 12 to 24 months before you can bring it back again. So I do think it's worth considering, looking at it, taking a real close look, and seeing if that's the direction the city wants to go. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else? Yes, sir. Provide your name.
Hi, my name's Amish Patel. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm the operations of Budgetel Inn. I'm the director of operations. I just wanted to say, as the operator, I am tired of the property as far as how we're doing the daily operations. I'm just as frustrated as along with the city of Eastridge. I know these hardworking gentlemen here on these 911 calls. We currently don't do background checks. We check IDs. We can't necessarily control what happens in the room, and we try our best to do it. But in order to survive as we are, as a Budgetel, the rates that we're at is attracting clientele that we are just trying to change. We're looking for a more responsible clientele at the property with these, as Harry said, with background checks, proof of income, all those clientele that we get, that are more responsible will be spending these dollars into Eastridge restaurants, at the new Topgolf, at Chick-fil-A, at these Portofinos, at nice restaurants, and our current guests aren't doing that. So that's why we envision this property and to be a better development that will help bring those great, those better clientele, the more responsible clientele who have jobs, who go to work daily and come back in the evening and want to go out to nice dinners. Who also attract great family members to come into from out of town to visit them and see the greatness of Eastridge. So I just wanted to kind of explain from my point of view as far as an operator, my challenges, and I'm with you on the frustrations with the current situation at Budgetel, but we will work to change that, as well as also how Harry also said, is we do not plan to operate it. We're gonna put operators, management that have experience across the board on how to manage properly and how to do things the right way, as shifting towards an apartment community. So, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
My name's Emerson Russell, and I had a hotel in Rome, Georgia. It was a Hilton, and when I bought it, it was a Bayfair. They had built a new one and converted it to a Bayfair, and we could never get the occupancy up. It was like 15, 20 rooms a night, and it was in a real good location, but cut a deal with them. They've gone in and converted this, got it rezoned, and converted it, and they've done everything that they told me that they was going to do to the property. I still have a big financial interest in that Rome project until they get it completed, and they're doing everything that they said here tonight to that project, and I'm, as a business person from Eastridge, I really feel that this is something that would be really beneficial to Eastridge. We don't have enough housing out here as it is. I know we want to bring in more and more commercial, but we've also got to have people that's going to attend and support those businesses. And I think by having more of an upscale, middle of the road price range apartments would be an extremely good thing for Eastridge, and it could stop all of the panhandling and stuff that's going on down there in that area from these people that are coming in, overnighters. If we get annual renters, you're not going to cut out all of the police calls, you're not going to cut out all of the fire department or ambulance calls, because it's just like anywhere in the city of Eastridge, things are going to happen, but it will tremendously, I feel, cut the overall calls down that they're currently having today. And any consideration that you ought to give them, I have no interest in this project down there myself, other than I am building Portofino's restaurant right up the street, and I would really like to see this place really cleaned up from what it is today. And I think this is a step forward to making sure that that happens. With everything that's going on in that area, I think this is the best thing that could happen to that piece of property. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward? Council, I'm going to ask you to hold your questions. We'll be able to discuss that when we get to the ordinance. Is there anyone else who would like to come forward? Any citizen? Would the applicant like to come forward to address any questions or concerns that was brought forward?
One thing I did not really mention was some of the rental amounts. Like I told you, right now it's around $200 to $250 a week. The smaller units will start at $1,200, then the 500 square feet would be around $1,400, and then the 600 square feet would be $1,750. That includes the utilities, cable, Wi-Fi, everything's included. Right now, we have to have security because of the crowd. We feel like if we change the crowd, we would not need that. So that's the rates we're looking at. So we feel like it's going to be working citizens that are going to be here. So that's all I wanted to address. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I don't see anyone else that's wanting to come forward at this time, so I will close this public hearing, and then we'll move into item B, ordinance number 1152.
Ordinance number 1152, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, to amend the zoning regulations and the zoning map of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, so as to rezone the property located at 1410 North Macksmith Road, tax map number 169L-L-002, from C1 Commercial District to R3 Residential Apartment District.
Thank you, sir. I know there's been a lot discussed during the public hearing. I'm going to try to adhere to Robert's rules, so I would entertain a motion, and then we can have discussion.
I'll make a motion for purpose of discussion.
Second, for the purpose of discussion.
I have a motion by Councilman, or Vice Mayor Chauncey, and a second by Councilmember Hilton. Discussion?
Okay. I just want to thank Mr. Patel for the presentation, and thank you for the citizens' comments from Mr. Wilson, Kenny, Mr. Custer. Thank you. So where I'm at with this, I definitely think we need to go back before the Planning Commission to be presented as it was here tonight. The quick question with the city attorney here, I think that would be required or recommended by you, by council.
Well, they're not changing the rezoning, they're asking for the same stuff. You can ask them. They're not required to go back down to Planning Commission. What they brought back here, if what you can have is the next time have a presentation that offer another opportunity for public hearing if you want to. They're not changing the request for the type of rezoning, whether they're still asking for the R3, so it does not have to go back to the planning.
Thank you, Mr. Lishford. So my opinion on this is if we were denied this here today, obviously it would only result in the status quo taking place. And I don't think there's really many people in this room that wants to continue to see the budgetel to operate the way it's been operating. So I'd like to continue the discussion, certainly, and see if we can't maybe find some common ground here as to what demands we'd like to what we'd like to have put in this rezoning. I want the rezoning, obviously, if it's something that we agree to do, I want to make sure that it has the proper contingencies and the teeth there to make sure that the developer is going to do exactly what they say they're going to do. Like I said, I'd like to continue the discussion. I'm not ready to give a vote on it tonight, so I would like to table this, and so we could, because I just now got this. I think we all just got this packet here tonight, so I think the most responsible thing to do is to try to take this back and just read through it a little bit further. Again, so where I'm at right now, I'd like to table this, so to give us all time to do that. So.
And I agree with him. I'm not ready to vote on it tonight. I feel like we need to do some more discussion with him, run it through the processes that it would normally have gone through before it got to us today. So is that in the form of a motion that he put in?
If anyone else had
Yeah.
discussion before?
I would just like to say I like what I see, the before and the after, and I think it would be probably a really good thing for Eastridge. It's going to fill a niche. A lot of people do not want to have the responsibility of a home. They're on the go. I know for myself personally, it's appealing to me. But I would concur with the rest of the council if they want to take some more time, because like I said, if it fails here tonight, then we have to wait, a long time to bring it back up again. So it would be worth like taking a step back and letting everybody process it a little bit further.
Anyone else? I'll concur. I would like to get, in the packet, I don't see, I'd like to get more information, and I know I've got some verbals, but I'd like to see it in writing. What is the investment? What are you looking at in investing into this per building or the entire complex? What kind of construction plan? What kind of construction schedule you're expecting? How soon can this be, renovated? How is the renovation going to occur? Is it going to be building by building, by multiple buildings at a time? How do you transition from the current state to the future state while you have occupants in there? Is there a plan for that? I mean, I'd like a lot more details on what I see where it is, I see where you want it to be, but I don't see the roadmap. I don't see how we're getting there with it in black and white and scheduling and what kind of investment we're putting into this to ensure that, it's the quality that we want. I mean, we're very proud of this city. We've come a long ways in a very short time, and we want it to continue in that direction. And that doesn't mean that I'm questioning and doubting. I just want to see this in the presentation and in a commitment from the current owners and developer. That's my take on it. Is there anyone else?
I don't have anything. I'll make a motion to table this.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion to table by Vice Mayor Chauncey and a second by Councilmember Witt. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. All right, ordinance number 1152 has been tabled. We'll move to item C, ordinance number 1153.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, to amend the zoning regulations and the zoning map of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, so as to surplus an approximate 13.59 acre tract of land located at the 100 block of Interstate I-75 on a portion of tax map number 169D-A-001, and authorizing the mayor to enter into an offer to purchase real property in substantial form attached with WWTA and to execute a deed and other necessary closing documents for the conveyance of the property in the amount of $250,000. Mayor and Council, this is an item that's kind of come up over the last 6 to 8 months. Is with respect to, this is better known as the Lucan property, and it's the northern part. It's around a 68 acre tract of land on the northern part. It's not been used for anything. The city acquired it about a year ago from Henry Lucan as a gift. The city of Eastridge has been working with WWTA, and WWTA identified a tract of land that's needed for holding tanks. The purpose would be to assist WWTA in its efforts to improve the sanitary sewer system, as well as to help head off any potential moratorium that may be upon the city of Eastridge because of the dated and condition of the current sewer system. What would be is this 13 acres would be a holding tank on that northern portion. It's carved out of the current 68 acres there, and WWTA is made an offer price of $250,000 for the land. They've also agreed that they would make sure that it would be inaccessible to kids or anyone so that no one could get on that property. There is a cell tower within that. That would be addressed in any conveyance, that the access to that cell tower would be unimpeded. Also, WWTA has approved that they would construct a sort of a nature path. There's already one there, but they would construct another one to preserve the area for walking paths, as well as to, in the event that the city is ever able to secure the underpass walkway or pedestrian walkway under I-75 at the Spring Creek area. And so this comes to the city today. This is part of a mandatory referral under the RPA, Title 13 of the Tennessee Code, which requires any surplus of property to go through the mandatory process initiated by RPA, then through the Planning Commission, and then before this body. Planning Commission recommended approval for this on their last meeting, and so it's before you all today for a first reading approval to surplus.
Thank you, sir. I'll entertain a motion for ordinance number 1153.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 1153.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Vice Mayor Chauncey. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Ordinance number 1153 passed first reading. We'll move to item D, ordinance number 1154.
This is an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, closing and abandoning a portion of the right-of-way located at the 5300 block of Stone Street, a portion of tax map numbers 169J-A-017 and 169J-A-021 as detailed on the attached map, subject to certain conditions. Ladies and gentlemen of the council, Mayor, this is a continuation of what was approved, at least from the purchase-wise, back a couple months ago. This is the animal shelter property that's being, as an opportunity the city has acquired. The city approved a purchase and sale agreement previously for the animal shelter property at the vacant property, and as part of that, there was a contingency in that the city and the owner of the parcel would work towards getting a portion of the street abandoned so that a shared trash area receptacle to service both the animal shelter property as well as the property on the north end, which is currently the Fernando's in the side building there. And this is a property that went through the mandatory referral through RPA as required. They went to the Planning Commission. Planning Commission recommended approval. And what you've got now is, before this body, is the mandatory referral to close that portion. It's identified in the attached map here, and it would include the closure of this. The property would revert back to the southern portion to the animal shelter property, and then, of course, the Fernando's property would get the northern part of the abandoned property of Stone Street. We've got a picture in here identified as to what the finished product would look like with respect to the trash receptacles, which would have required a fence, curb and gutter right there to prevent any sort of runoff there. And this is an agreement with the owner of the property who would be responsible for constructing it, and that owner, of course, is Emerson Russell. And I understand he has blessed this, and so it's coming to this body and would be on first reading for approval.
I'll entertain a motion for ordinance number 1154.
Motion to approve ordinance number 1154.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Councilmember Hilton and a second by Vice Mayor Chauncey. Do we have any discussion? I will add to that, I do think this, just to reiterate, that Stone Street is technically a dead-end street. However, it does empty currently into a parking lot. So I know there's been questions and concerns about blocking or traffic. There shouldn't be any through traffic there anyway. In this dumpster location at the very, very end of Stone Street would not impede any parking or egress or degress from the parking lot from Fernando's, nor our future animal shelter. So just wanted to also reiterate that with this abandonment that would be occurring. Is there anyone else? Discussion. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Helton.
Yes.
Councilmember Witt.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Ordinance number 1154 passed first reading. We'll move to item E, Resolution 3211.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, approving the execution and delivery of a development agreement with Ringo Spirit Corporation relating to a project in the Border Region Retail Development District and authorizing certain actions related thereto. Ladies and gentlemen of the council, Mayor, I'm passing out the items that were presented, the same items at the Planning Commission, the Industrial Development Committee meeting that occurred back about a week and a half ago. One thing was brought to my attention in your packet, the memo, I apologize, this is one I used from previously on the Food City, but this is not for the construction of a supermarket and a fueling station, so I apologize for that in the memo. This is for an improvement at the 3940 Ringgold Road. Back in January and February, the City Council approved 2 zones for package stores. This is the zone that would be on the far west end of, or at least on the west end portion of the city that got approved. In that approval, the minimal requirements for a package store is 5,000 square feet. We now have what the developer is bringing forward is a proposal that if it can receive a percentage of the border region, then it would be able to enhance the development that it had proposed previously when it went through the whole lottery back in, I think it was May or June of this year. Specifically, those enhancements would include a 68% expansion from the 5,000 square feet that was proposed up to 8,400 square feet. And so that's a 68% expansion. It also allows the developer to improve the appearance, the facade. It's on a corner lot, and so it would improve the access to that. It would allow for multiple entries, as well as a prettier construction materials for the development. The developer has identified that through the border region revenue that would be reimbursed for the development cost, it would help the developer purchase more higher-end spirits. And so by that would generate more sales tax, which in turn would generate more local option as well as more border region. And it also is an opportunity for the developer to improve the sewer system that exists there now. And lastly, it's this city or this council, when you all approve the districts for the package stores, one of the bases for that was an effort to try to grow the west side of the city. Its council has made it well known over the last years that the west side is something you all are trying to encourage growth. And here, one of the reasons that the staff came together and made a proposal of recommendation to the IDB was the fact that you have a west opportunity development that would increase a construction of around 68%, so that perhaps you've got the opportunity for much wider variety and a more pleasant type of spirit package store that's going to be there. Based upon what was proposed by the developer, they met with staff of the city. That went before the IDB, and we have a development agreement under the border region that a proposal would be for a 50% allocation of the border region revenue to be provided to the developer. The developer has provided to us their schedule of proposed expenses, and as proposed with respect to the 8,400 square feet, the projection of expenses is around $3.7 to $3.8 million for the construction full development. That includes the land acquisition, the site prep, the environmentals, the architect, all of their preparations to get this development open. They've provided their projection over the next 25 years for sales, and based upon that, you can then run the numbers to be able to identify what the projected revenues will be from the border region. Based upon the information we got from the developer, they would be receiving around, or they would be generating around $3.7 million, around $3.6 million in border region revenue. And based upon their meetings with staff and going before the Industrial Development Board, it was proposed that they would receive a 50% allocation of the border region. If they get that 50%, the developer would receive around $1.8 million over the 25-year period, which would amount to just under a 50% return on investment for the developer. The city, in turn, would receive the other $1.8 million, and so in essence, it's a win for both parties. The city gets to at least realize an increase of projected border region revenue as a result of this, and of course, they're going to give a portion of it to the developers to enhance the development that's being proposed.
Thank you, Mr. Litchford. I'll entertain a motion for Resolution 3211.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 3211.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Councilmember Helton. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Miller.
Vice Mayor Chauncey.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Hamilton.
Yes.
Councilmember Witt.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution 3211 passed. Congratulations. Ready for the construction to start. We'll move to item F, Resolution 3212.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, authorizing the advancement of state salary supplement payments for eligible firefighters and police officers.
Did such a good job. Yes, Mayor, Council, this is traditionally this is the money received from the state for the training of firefighters and police officers. That money normally comes in from the state in the spring, but we have in the past advanced this money coming into the Christmas season for our firefighters and police officers. And I don't know what it is for firefighters. For police officers, it's $800.
Luckily, this time it's the same. It's 800 a person. We actually, are, I guess, in competition in some ways. Seems like police always gets a little bit more, but the last time this was done, this was made fair across the board. The state of Tennessee is 800 apiece.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'll entertain a motion for Resolution 3212.
Make motion to approve Resolution 3212.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Vice Mayor Chauncey and a second by Councilmember Hilton. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution 3212 passed. We'll move to item G, Resolution 3213.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, to approve an appointment by Vice Mayor Chauncey to the Eastridge Beer Board.
Vice Mayor?
Yes, I would like to appoint Ms. Shanna McFadden to the Eastridge Beer Board. I believe she's here tonight. She was one of our lone veterans that stood up earlier, so thank you for your service, Ms. Fadden, and thank you for your willingness to continue to serve. We look forward to having you on the board.
Thank you, sir. I will entertain a motion to memorialize this appointment.
Make a motion to approve Ms. Fadden, Mr. Chauncey's appointee to the Beer Board. Resolution number 3213.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Councilmember Cagle and a second by Councilmember Hilton. Do we have any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. And thank you again for your service and your continued service. We'll move to item H, Resolution 3214.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, to approve the appointment by Councilmember Cagle to the Eastridge Beer Board.
Councilman Cagle?
Yes, sir, I would like to reappoint Mr. Roy Cowan. He fulfilled the seat when Mr. Charlie Snyder died, so I'd like to reappoint him to this term.
Thank you, sir.
He is here in the audience, I think. Yeah, he's still here.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to memorialize the appointment.
I'll make a motion to memorialize the appointment of Roy Cowan, resolution number 3214.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Councilmember Hilton and a second by Vice Mayor Chauncey. Do you have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Cowan, for your continued service. We move to item I, Resolution 3215.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, to memorialize the mayor's appointment as of a member to the chairman of the Beer Board.
Thank you, sir. I would like to appoint Roy Cowan as the new chairperson for the Beer Board. I will entertain a motion to memorialize that appointment.
I make a motion to memorialize resolution number 3215 for Roy Cowan to be the chairperson of the Beer Board.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Councilmember Hilton. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton, Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. And thank you for your added role as new chairperson of the Beer Board. Thank you. We'll move to item J, Resolution 3216.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, authorizing the city manager or his designee to purchase one 2021 Ford Interceptor SUV from Lonnie Cobb Ford through the Tennessee Department of General Services statewide contract listing number 209-72318 pursuant to Tennessee Code Annotated 12-3-1201B.
Yes, Mayor, Council, this is a purchase of a police vehicle to replace one that burned.
What type of vehicle burned?
It was a Dodge Charger.
Thank you, sir.
It's better than burning a new one.
We don't know what caused it.
All right. I will entertain a motion for Resolution 3216.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Vice Mayor Chauncey and a second by Councilmember Cagle. Do you have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move to item K, Resolution 3217.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, approving bids for the purchase of soccer uniforms for the 2021-2022 indoor soccer season.
Yes, Mayor and Council, bids for soccer uniforms were opened on November the 5th. We received 2 bids, and staff is recommending awarding Crown USA the soccer uniform bid based on current pricing and past successful history.
Thank you, sir. We'll entertain a motion for Resolution 3217.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 3217.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Vice Mayor Chauncey. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. We'll move to item L, Resolution 3218.
A resolution of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, authorizing the issuance of interest-bearing Fire Department Capital Outlay Notes Series 2021 in an amount not to exceed $696,079 and providing for the payment of said notes.
Yes, if you remember during the budget season that we talked about we were going to have to purchase a new fire engine, and I'm sure that Mike will be glad to get up and talk about it, that we're going to finance it as a capital outlay note for the next 7 years. Our interest rate is going to be 1.65%, and our plan is we're going to pay half down when we order it, and we're saving about $14,000 by doing that, and then we will pay the balance when it's complete, because it'll take about 12 months or so to do it.
I know a little bit about this project. I can't say enough. Diane and Chris both have really helped out a lot on this. We looked at a lot of different options on trying to save as much money as we could, going through different finance and not going through the manufacturer's finance company. We looked through all those documents, shared that information with both city manager and Ms. Coyles, and this was brought up to be the best option that we could find for the financing for this engine. We decided to do a 7-year plan on this, but the biggest thing is the build on this is probably going to be about 14 months out. So the sooner we can get this project going, the sooner we can, we can receive this this engine. I know that the prices will be marking up here, and we've been struggling with that. We've been trying to keep the price down to where it is with the manufacturing and the company that's selling this fire engine. So we're trying to get this going as fast as we can. But at the same time, we wanted to look at all the options and what would be the best option for the city, and with the lowest finance rate that we could do. And this is what Ms. Coyles has presented to the council.
Thank you, sir. I'll entertain a motion for Resolution 3218.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Vice Mayor Chauncey and a second by Councilmember Helton. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Helton. Councilmember Witt.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution 3218 pass. Move to item M, Resolution 3219.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, awarding the bid for U.S. Highway 41 State Route 8, which is the Ringgold Road Corridor Improvement Project from Kingwood Drive, Wimberley Lane to McBrien Road.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mayor, I'll start, and then I'll turn it over to Finance Director Qualls here. She has some other information she's going to share at the end of this. We took the bids for this on October 7th of this year, and we took the bids on October 7th this year, and we had two bidders respond. We had Tally Construction Company responded with $6,315,244.05. Thomas Brothers Construction Company responded with their bid of $6,987,561. The bids were done by hand, and after they were analyzed, we realized that Tally's was off just a little bit by 700 and change, or 790 and change.
19.
But you go by what the unit costs are when you do this. So their real bid was $6,314,524.50. The original estimate for this project, as you know, this project's been going on for a few years, was $4,217,312.47. But, you know, we had factors such as supply chain issues, COVID-related factors, and all these sorts of different things. And so the actual bid by Tally is over our budgeted estimate by a little over $2 million, almost $2,100,000. One good thing that has happened, though, is a lot of this project deals with stormwater. So with the recently received ARPA funding that we've gotten, we're going to utilize that, as we talked about before, for the stormwater portion of the project in the amount of $3,142,492.28, which leaves $3,172,032.22 to be paid out at the general fund utilizing debt financing. So if you see down here, we sort of broke up the project. We took out the lines that were stormwater related, and that was just a little over $3.2 million. The rest of it was just over $3 million, as we said. So, as I said, the differences are we're planning on spending $3,142,492.28. That's all the ARPA funding we received this year, and obviously we'll receive more next year. And the general fund would be $3,172,032.22. And I asked Ms. Qualls to pull together for you all real quick a summary of the project, where the money is, what's been spent so far, how much we have in grants, and so forth.
Okay. If you look at the top is, that is the budget that was submitted with the projects. And this was 3 or 4, I can't remember, it's 3 or 4 different grants that were all put together because they felt it would be more cost effective. So the matching amounts start to get a little screwy in some of this. But you'll see what was estimated, and then below that you're going to see the actual amount that that has been spent. On NEPA, we spent less than they budgeted. Let's see. And design, we spent exactly what said. That was a contract we had. The right-of-way, as you can tell, we came in less than we anticipated, which is good, but it was still a lot. And so you'll see down here you'll show what the federal is supposed to pay. You'll see what the state is going to pay. But you have to remember, we have to spend the money before we get reimbursed for the money. We have to submit invoices and all the documentation, and then we have to wait for the state to approve it and disperse it back down to us. So you'll see where we actually have spent $1.4 million. We had received $93,708.22. And right now we have invoices at the state waiting to be approved for $584,000, and we'll have more that we will be submitting.
And how long
A lot
have you
of
been
those-
waiting for that $500,000?
Almost a year. Because of the issues of having so many different grants, they're having to move money from one line to another. And when you're working with TDOT, they're very tedious. And then on the next page, you can see the total cost of the project, the actual cost that it is. And I break down the federal funds, the state funds, the stormwater, the ARPA funds. And it still shows that the part to be paid by the city at the end, after we get our, money back, is $2.5 million in pertaining to the construction of the bid. And then at the bottom, I have listed the two other things. It's the CEI and then the TDES, which I don't know what those initials are for, but something to do with Department of Transportation? I don't know.
Mr. Cagle, Councilperson Cagle asked a good question about this earlier today, so I want to make sure we had this written out in a good way to explain the bottom part of this, at least the construction that we're talking about today. As we said, the bid came in at $6,314,000 all around here. The federal state funds is $1,686,000. The ARPA for the stormwater funds, $3,142,000. So the total cost, if you subtract those from the six, the city for this portion of what we're doing for this construction bid is $1,485,000. That's what the city will be paying as the part of this particular contract. Now, there's, as Diane said, there's also the construction engineering inspection that's already been awarded to ACE Engineering, and that's the $382,000 that will come after as the project starts. The TDES, I believe that's the little bitty portion that the state gets for their oversight of the project, that little percentage amount. I think that's what that is. So that shows the total cost for the cities from this point forward that hasn't been spent yet, that we will spend, is where that $1,879,952 comes from.
That's it.
Anything I forgot? Or you forgot?
That's it.
Very good, thank you.
All right, thank you. I will entertain a motion for Resolution 3219.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 3219.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Councilmember Witt and a second by Councilmember Helton. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Helton.
Yes.
Councilmember Witt.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. All right, we will move to item N, and I am going to pull item N. That was put on the agenda prematurely, but I want to explain a little bit and discuss this for a few moments. I'm not sure if everyone is aware, our Red Wolves actually played played a game in their regionals, or is it the
Quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals, thank you. I lost the word. Quarterfinals, and they won. So now they're proceeding to the semifinals, and then have an opportunity, if the Red Wolves win and Omaha on the other side of the bracket lose, that would result in the USL League One National Championship being played in Eastridge, Tennessee, at CHI Memorial Stadium. With that being said, we would be the host city. The tentative date, if this aligns, was looking at the weekend of the 20th. Well, that's Saturday for our parade. Sean McDaniel, the general manager of the Red Wolves, reached out to me and provided all this information to me, and I told him that, well, we have a slight possible conflict. We hope that you get in. We hope this wins and this occurs. But the 20th, in the evening of the 20th, is our parade. And he says there's a possible leeway of if this all occurs and lines up, that they would be able to adjust that. Working with had to get USL League One's approval to move that to a Sunday date, which would be ideal. It also give them the ability to advertise down the parade the day before. So with all that being said, this is big. The Red Wolves coming was big, but this is even bigger. They're now, a championship caliber team that is now has a potential playing for a national championship. Again, this is going to be nationally broadcast, ESPN Plus. There are going to be hundreds and hundreds, close to 1,000 out-of-town fans and delegates that's going to be coming into this area. So with that being said, the intent here is I would like to see the city enter into some type of support contract to help for some advertisement, for some, and jump in here, guys, for promotions for our city. This is a grand opportunity to showcase our city along with the Red Wolves playing in this national championship. And the city manager has the ability to spend up to a certain limit. And so I just wanted to show my support and see if others are interested in showing that support to supporting the Red Wolves and showcasing the city with advertisement and being involved and engaged at a national level.
And I think this is a great opportunity too, like you said, to showcase the Red Wolves on a national stage and Eastridge on a national stage as well. And all this is only if the Red Wolves national championship game is in Eastridge.
That is correct.
Dominoes have to fall exactly in a certain way for it to happen.
Yeah, based on the way that the rankings and their positioning and stuff, the Red Wolves have to win this Saturday, and then Omaha is in the other side of the bracket, would have to lose for them to get the home play opportunity here for the national championship.
They can still make the national championship, but they might be an away team.
That's correct. And then this sponsorship, of course, wouldn't occur because it's not going to be in our home city.
Right.
So
as the mayor says, I have the authority to do it if it's under 10,000, if it's 9,500, but I'm glad he brought it up because I just would like to see, if there's a consensus on the council with head nods. There's no vote needed, but if it's
I think it's a
something
great
that we
idea.
think so.
I think we should support them. They're our team.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. I'll move to, I asked to add an additional item to the agenda. And let me explain a little bit. We have an event that is coming to the arena. It is the 7th annual Guns and Hoses charitable boxing match. It's been a recurring event in Eastridge. It's a boxing feature with teams from law enforcement and from the firefighters and EMS. And the proceeds from this boxing match, which is called Guns and Hoses, benefits the YCAP Boxing Club and a delinquency prevention program, the Forgotten Child Fund, and a charity of the firefighters and the law enforcement, and who provide Christmas gifts to children in the greater Chattanooga metropolitan area. The one that actually serves the beer permit, the vendor, is our food and beverage coordinator is the Carpenters, which does our concessions at here in Eastridge at the arena and others. There's been an unforeseen medical issue that the Carpenters had endured, and I'm not going to go into any other details about that, but that is some of the reasons why this is kind of an emergency type beer permit request that I'm asking the council to approve here. We have been aware of the event for over a year, and it's always been kept in an orderly fashion. The vendor and the beverage coordinator has always complied with requirements. They've been the ones that's been providing the beer service and servicing it. So you know, we as a council have the final say granting and denying beer permits. So I would ask that the council would move to approve a special beer permit for this event so it can be hosted. Otherwise, it's very likely possible that it's going to be canceled because of huge losses, and this could impact these two charitable organizations, and I'd hate to see this event, not occur this year. So I'm going to ask that of the council if I could get a motion to approve this special beer permit for the Guns and Hoses event.
Motion to approve a special permit for the Guns and Hoses event at Camp Jordan. Would that be a resolution number 3221?
It'd be Resolution 3221, that's correct, yes.
Thank you for the clarifications on the resolution number. All right, we have a motion by Councilmember Hilton and a second by Vice Mayor Chauncey. Do we have any discussion? I see none. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Helton.
Yes.
Councilmember Witt.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Thank you, council.
Brian, is there
Yes, ma'am.
something that we could look at the beer permit thing that we might want to revisit in the future?
I think that's a great suggestion. I think we've tweaked it, and as we mature and we have more events and we see things occur, I think that would be a great request for that come from the attorney. Would we request the beer board to take that action?
No, it would come from, that'd be a council matter.
A council matter,
So if
okay.
if I hear the marching orders, I'll get with the staff and we'll work and see what, Mr. Dorsey's the one that generally handles this, and we'll consult with the beer board to see if they have any recommendations, but it ultimately will come to this body.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, it could be permissive, certain circumstances like this. So.
Yeah, and I think it's just a little inconsistent. I think it's just the ordinance is a little inconsistent when it's on property and off property for the city. So I think getting that in line could be very beneficial to help, especially when you have a recurring vendor that is, get solid and consistent, and, we've had great experience with them and no issue. So, again, thank you. We'll move to item P, I guess it is now, which is our discussion of our tentative agenda for December 9th, 2021 council meeting. And I will remind everyone, we will not have our second meeting in November, because that'll actually be Thanksgiving. So, which is normally always not scheduled, and so we don't have to cancel it. So I just want to remind everybody of that. So the first item on the tentative agenda would be the Christmas Parade Awards. It's pretty self-explanatory? Okay. Any discussion, questions? Okay. The other item I would like to add in item 3 is a presentation for electronic vehicle for city fleet. We have someone who would like to come forward and present, do a presentation on electrical vehicles for consideration or possibility of consideration for our city fleet. Under old business, we would have, no, we will not have, that would be, yep, that goes away, that was tabled. Under B would be a public hearing.
It would be on there, it just stays as tabled. It stays. It's just a matter of whether or not the council wants to move to remove it from the table.
Correct, thank you. Thank you for that clarification. So it would be there, it would just be tabled. So if we wanted to take action, we could.
That's right. Well, Ms. Middleton, she'll put in parentheses, this is tabled, and so we'll know that in the event the council wants to take action, they'll untable it. My advice would be, to the extent that the council is has an inclination to untable it, well, you won't really know, but might be a good idea to make sure that the public knows in the event that they want to show up for the public comment period. We've already had the public hearing, but it is notable for the citizens that may want to come back that during public comments, this may be brought up off the table. So I wanted that to make sure it be known.
Thank you, sir. Under item B, the public hearing for ordinance number 1153, which item C is the ordinance 1153. It's the ordinance of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, to amend the zoning regulations in the zoning map of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, as to surplus approximate 13.59 acre tract of land located at the 100 block of Interstate 75 on a portion of tax map number 169D-A-001, and authorizing the mayor to enter into an offer to purchase real property in the substantially the form attached with WWTA, and to execute a deed and other necessary closing documents for the conveyance of the property in the amount of $250,000. That would be the second and final reading. Any discussion, council? Seeing none, the next would be a public hearing for ordinance number 1154. And ordinance 1154 is an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Eastridge, Tennessee, closing and abandoning a portion of the right-of-way located at the 5300 block of Stone Street, a portion of the tax map number 169J-A-017 and 169J-A-021, as detailed on the attached map, subject to certain conditions. Second and final reading. Do we have any discussion on that item, council? I see none. Under new business, we would have a unnumbered resolution, a resolution to officially retire K-9 officer Axel.
Yes, Mayor, Council, as you recall, you recently approved the purchase of a new K-9 officer and the training for that dog. He should be ready to go by then. We would want to retire our current dog.
Any questions, council?
Is there a retirement party for the dog?
Yeah. Will Axel be here?
We can make that happen, yes, Mayor. And along with that, the retirement will be to allow the current handler, Corporal Stephen Rogers, to keep Axel.
That's great.
It's great. Any questions, council?
Zach's will go and get a TCRS.
He hasn't put anything into it, Council. He can't.
I hear he may get an award. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have two other items that we need to add under new business. We have a IDB appointment for Mr. City, who resigned his unexpired term, and I apologize, I didn't write down. Who is that? Councilman Cagle, okay.
I didn't know he resigned.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He resigned as of the end of the year, 12/31. So that's why we need an appointment by next council meeting. Yeah. And that would go through 6/24. So whoever you appoint for this resignation would fulfill that through June of 2024. And then the other item I need to add also is library board. We have two appointments for the library board. Vice Mayor Chauncey, you have one that's coming up, and Councilmember Hilton, you have one that's coming up for the library board. So that's all that I have. Is there any other business?
I was looking on the Eastridge's calendar the other day of meetings and things, and I just happened to notice that we've got a December the 23rd council meeting. We need to put that on the agenda to
Good point.
cancel it, or, because we don't usually have that meeting.
Was that one ever advertised?
That's on our calendar when you go up and look at it.
I think that one is, isn't it? Don't we have to cancel that each year? The one for Thanksgiving is always.
Advertise that because that actually falls on a holiday.
It does.
23rd is a
That will be
holiday.
our Christmas Eve holiday.
Okay.
So
we don't need to?
It was never advertised when we do our yearly.
Right.
All right, so.
I think it just ended up on the website on there.
Okay.
When you
That's
do a
it.
recurring thing every 2 weeks or whatever, it just.
Okay, so we don't need to cancel it. We just need to clean it up off the webpage. Okay.
Thank you.
Good catch. Anything else?
They should be here to present our audit report.
So that'll be back up in presentation?
Yes, sir.
Interesting to see what those findings are. Hopefully, there's none.
Hopefully. I worked really hard,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Hopefully there'll be a good Christmas gift for us and not a bad one.
Amen.
Anything else? I'm sure you're wanting to stay a little longer. All right, so nothing else. Y'all